What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Saturday, August 17th. What's happening? We got a good weekend planned. I've got some stuff going on here. I'm sure you guys are having a fun weekend. I appreciate you joining on a morning show that we've been trying to do here over at the channel. Enjoying mornings, having a cup of coffee with everybody out there in the world. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Collecting's been crazy lately. There's so much to talk about. And when you get a fresh start on a Saturday to a weekend of collecting, there's going to be, digest the news that's been released over the week. I mean, we get so many sets these days that we can talk about those over the weekend. There's been a ton of whatnot breaks with Marvel MMXL. And today I want to go over a couple of things that aren't related to that. I pulled out a few things to talk about today, and we'll get right into it, I guess. So starting the morning off with some comics. So I recently received a copy of a 9.6 X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 222. This is a really cool book. I've been buying these books in 9.6 for the covers. I've been character collecting, kind of trying something a little bit different with comics, where I'm not really grabbing books that have anything other than a cool cover to me. And there's a lot of spin-offs in Marvel trading cards from the actual comic books. And, having the physical books is really fun. They look great in a display. It's a fun thing to own. The comic community is huge, as you can see by my hat that I finally dug out of my closet. And it's a really fun chapter of collecting to get into and include with your Marvel trading cards. So one of the spin-offs that have come from books such as this have been Fleer Ultra Wolverine. We've seen a really cool insert in Fleer Ultra Wolverine. I'll show you guys that right there. And these are the claw cut covers. Now, these are a really cool insert because they're a spin-off of Wolverine 50, which is top secret. It's a slashed cover that is Logan's case file. And then through the slashes, you get to see the cover underneath. So, is a display type of idea. You get something like this going, and it looks really interesting. It's a great way to include yourself in both hobbies of trading cards and the comics, and get to understand a little bit of the lineage of where these inserts are coming from. Also, there's a nod to comics quite a bit in Fleer Ultra Wolverine, where the blue parallel, they're out of 181, which is a homage to the Hulk 181, which is, quote unquote, the first full appearance of Wolverine. And lots and lots of fun stuff to kind of deep dive into the background of some of the comic book stuff. Really interesting. Another thing that I have from this same comic is from the original first Marvel Beginnings, volume 1, series 2. And this is a comic clipping from this book. So, this obviously it's got the same cover. And then we're seeing a cut from one of the pages, which is really cool. It's a scene where Sabretooth punches Wolverine and hits his adamantium skeleton and injures his hand. And there's a dialogue that goes back and forth between the two of them. I thought it was really cool. I enjoy the claw cut covers and I enjoy the comic cuts a lot. And I don't think that you can enjoy them fully without having, like I was discussing, a copy of the book. Having the book really makes it interesting, really makes it, really makes it go full circle. I'm just going to chat with a couple people here in chat here. I love the claw cut covers. That's Top Secret comic was one of my favorites as a kid. It's such a cool idea. I do own the book. It's just not at the house with me here. I would love to show you guys at another date. But you're absolutely right, because the cover, it's such a creative idea. It's really, really cool. And I love seeing the Fleer Ultra products take a little bit of a spin on some of the other stuff. So like Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns is on EPAC right now. It's one of our new EPAC releases. And the medallions look really cool, but there are comic cuts as well. And the way they did the comic cuts in Fleer Ultra Midnight Suns, they have a bit of a tombstone kind of graveyard vibe going to them. They look really, really good. They're fun to have in hand. I'm not really attached to very many of the comics that they chose to take clippings from in it, but I did pull one in my first or second box of Midnight Suns on camera with the Rider. So super cool. It's really fun. I love comic cuts. I love getting to have them in hand, and I love the comic books. So I did an episode on the LPM podcast. It was in season one, so it was going back a while ago now. I did it with the West Coast Dave Engers, and Dave's a buddy of mine, and we had a really interesting conversation about comic cuts because he is a huge comic enthusiast, and we had this chat about cutting up comics and is that blasphemy. I really encourage you to go and watch it if you're interested in how that conversation goes. um it was really interesting one. It was fun to it's fun talking about controversial inserts with people that don't like them, and when everybody just is on the same page and just kind of agrees that, oh, these are cool. It does make for a more interesting discussion when there's somebody who's passionately against it. I encourage you to check it out. So on weekends like this isn't like a free weekend for me. I'm very busy this weekend, but in the evenings I'm off work. So I kind of have my table set up here for like a collecting weekend where I can pour over binders. I have Flair Ultra Wolverine base set that I need to finish putting in top loaders because I'm going to start to put together the binder. I've been doing a little bit of work with it, trying to get it started. But we've been doing binder nights, which is a show on this channel that we do live. And I figure I'll start showing binders. So this is the binder that I buy. This is the fifth one of these that I've bought. So I don't even know what ZLCA top loader binders. Fits 252 cards. I like these. They have a bit of a pattern on the back. I'll take it out of the plastic on binder nights and show you guys in more depth. But this is a top loader binder, and you can fit your top loaders in. It's very challenging to get 100-point top loaders on both sides. So from my experience with this exact binder, it's a good idea to do a 35-point on one page and a 100-point on the other. That works for sure. My entire PC is stored in 4 of those, and that does work. I'm going to try it with Flair Ultra Wolverine and see if I can get them on both pages. I sincerely doubt that it's going to work without being really awkward. So if that doesn't work, then I'm going to try just having one page at a time for the 100-point cards, and then for the rare inserts that are 35-point in Flair Ultra Wolverine, I'll add to the other page, see if it works. That's why I say it's like a hobby weekend. I get to experiment with some stuff, give you guys some feedback about how those experiments went, because it's kind of nice seeing somebody else try out binders before you go out and buy one. Because what if it doesn't fit your stuff? What if it doesn't fit your thick cards? We all want to know these answers. So I'm gonna do a little test this weekend and find out if it works. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Let me know what you guys have been doing with your collections lately down in the comments or in the chat. I love knowing what you guys are after. I like to know how you guys are doing with the recent sets that are coming out. Some people have been going hella hard on EPAC recently. Hey, what's going on? Marvelously Sketched. But it was a super busy Friday night for streams. I stayed away on Friday night because there were so many streams going on. There were so many fun conversations and openings and stuff like that. So it was nice to do. I'm enjoying the mornings because it's 7 a.m. here in Alberta. It's 6 a.m. on the West Coast. So I hope that you people out there are sleeping. On the East Coast, you guys are up earlier. You guys have started your day. Lots of you guys have kids, so we're getting into it. I haven't been doing very much on EPAC lately other than just trading. I haven't opened up any product. I'm steering away from EPAC recently because I've been enjoying the physical experience so much more. Becky's saying it's so great to see Marvel doing so well. It's really, really refreshing and nice that the hobby continues to grow and that there's a lot of entertainment out there for people to participate in and enjoy, and get to get a lot of information in a stream. There's lots of people watching streams and picking up on the little tips and stuff that make collecting a little bit easier in a way, a little bit more refined. Really, really fun. I've been enjoying collecting way too much lately, just way, way too much. Drone Soar, what's going on? Thanks so much for jumping in for a live. I appreciate you guys being here. The lives are fun. I like having the lives so we can participate and chat together, and I can hear about your guys' questions in real time. I love participating in the chat on camera. When I watch other people's streams, I love being in the chat, and I notice myself focusing way more on the chat than I am on the video when I'm not a part of the stream, sitting there typing away, and I forget what's going on the camera. I like to, for me, it's a challenge to engage with both. So being on the live and being able to chat with you guys, one of my favorite things. I got a couple other cards to show here. I've just been going through insert sets recently in an attempt to get organized in the hobby. You know, there's an OCD to this that is, I think all of us share. And there's just something about the more organized you get, the better it all feels. We got a great convos last night across the channels. Hanging out with Jeremiah's birthday break was a lot of fun. Jeremiah, really cool guy. Really glad that he got to open up some product. I saw some reels that he was doing about his stuff. But what I was mentioning there was I've been going through the inserts and getting organized. And there's something about being organized in the hobby that really, really feels good. So couple inserts I've been looking at. I've just pulled this one out. I going through my Pelican case, and these exquisites, they are so nice in hand. They're a very thick card. They don't even fit in a 100-point top loader. They're even bigger. They're numbered at a 199. No, out of 199, and they are absolutely gorgeous. The artwork on them is really cool. It really pops on a white background. And there's something about these that just really, really feel good in hand. So getting a little reminder, a little refresher of all of these inserts that I have in the Pelican case. And there's been a lot of great Marvel product that's come out in the last few years. I just ordered some BCW bins. They will help a lot with organizing. You know, it's a funny thing. So for at some point, I will do a video that will include this. But what I have my entire collection on is a bookshelf. It's an IKEA bookshelf. And it's 4 rows by 4 rows. And I utilize the top as well. And I need to be able to see everything that I'm working with. And then what I do is I organize my base sets from product openings. I get a full base set. Even if I already have it, I just try to get those cards as organized as possible, because when you're someone who opens up product, it can become overwhelming really, really quickly if you don't organize frequently. So having that stuff visible so that you know that it needs to get put in a proper kind of case. I use those hard plastic cases to put a base set in. I like to have them just kind of tucked away. They have a lid and then they go in a closet. I'm really hoping that at some point in time, as I meet more Marvel people in person, I can have base sets that I can trade off to people or give away to people, so that, you know, another generation of younger people get involved in Marvel. My nieces and nephews, I've opened up product with and given some base sets to, some holograms, and they enjoy it. And it's really, really important to try to get the other age groups to join in on Marvel, because if it's just a bunch of us, it's never going to grow. It seems like Marvel's been growing a lot lately, though. It seems like there's more channels, there's more interest, there's more views on videos, which is going to lead us into the conversation that I want to have with everybody. And that is, what is the population of Marvel card collectors? We have Facebook groups like MCCW that have thousands of members. You know, there are more than 5,000 members in some of these groups. But is that an accurate representation of how many people are actually collecting Marvel? So when you're collecting big characters and you're, say it's an auction and you're bidding on auctions, you get to see there's a number of bids on some of these cards. Typically not within the hundreds, but there's a good, I mean, in the thousands, but there's a good amount of bids on things. And this starts to give you an idea of the group of people who are going after certain cards. I'm of the opinion that after looking at the numbers, the activity on ePack, the activity on auctions on eBay and the Facebook groups, from seeing the views and the likes and the comments on videos, I think that the population of people who are collecting Marvel on a regular basis and who are engaged with it and chasing basis cards and set cards and character collecting, I think the number is 1,000 people. I think that there is 1,000 people who are interested in it. And then as you go down the list kind of shrinks a little bit until you get to the very end, which is the original art of Marvel cards. So the paintings, the sketches, that group of people narrows as you get to the end. Part of that is due to price point, but that's my opinion. I think there's 1,000 people who are part of it. There were a load of sports cards collectors that joined the group that's to sell a couple of years back. Absolutely. So when we're talking about people who are in the hobby, I mean, there are thousands of people. There's without a doubt, there are multiple thousands of people who have come into the hobby and have kind of a foot in and are enjoying it and opening some product and then are taking a bit of a break and coming back in. When I say that there are 1,000 people in it, I mean there are 1,000 people who are probably only collecting Marvel. Marvel is their sole, is the heart of their collection, and are people like myself that really nerd out on it, that are like, a lot of their day, portions of their day are spent looking at Marvel cards. Like, there isn't a day in my collecting life where I don't at some point glance over eBay auctions, Facebook groups, Instagram. Um, I know that there's a lot of passion in the sports community for collecting cards, and I see it because I watch some of the sports videos because I love the reaction that people have when they're pulling cards, and I really enjoy how the sports people interact with one another at card shows. I love the size of them and of the shows, and the interaction that goes down, watching people trade and make deals. It's really exciting. And I love seeing the quantity of cards that get traded. It's really cool. I'm really hoping for that in Marvel. I agree. The ones that are actually collecting and not just flipping. Yeah, when you're collecting Marvel cards, it's an interesting conversation to have. Depending on how you're collecting Marvel, it's very possible that your cards are kind of a one-way street. Like, when I'm collecting Sabretooth, I do not anticipate a day where anyone's interested in buying my Sabretooth cards. Like, I collected it because I loved it, and I don't really think I'm going to find another collector that's as passionate about it and wants to just get all of those cards in one go. They might want to cherry pick through one day. But so when you're doing the Marvel collecting, since it is so small, you're kind of on your own. These cards are kind of just your obsession. You're obsessed with collecting these cards, and it can be really hard to find somebody to share that experience with. Where in the sports cards world, there is such a huge following in it, and I don't participate in it. I don't trade sports cards, but there's just so many people involved, and there's such an age range because of the amount of people that are interested in sports. And it's really interesting to me to watch. It's I've been putting a lot of thought into it, and we've talked lots about how, like, selling your character collection isn't really something that's going to happen unless you own Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Venom. And so when you are collecting these secondary, third-rate, D-rate characters, whatever you want to call them, these are our collections. Like, you're likely the person with the biggest collection of them, and I think that's really cool. I think that's really unique to the Marvel card hobby. As more people come into the hobby, which is very much an encouraging sign, I'm really interested to see how it grows, how it changes, how it evolves into something bigger than just the community group that's on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm sure that there's another platform. Discord's gotten popular over the years. Personally, I find Discord a very frustrating platform to work on. I don't really understand Discord, and I haven't put the time in to learn. So I'm going to have to do that one day if I want to stay up to date. I know Fausto's really into the Discord. Fausto shared a database that they've got going on Discord, and they're trying to get people to be more a part of it in order to build up the inventory that's recorded of what cards exist or what out there. I'll leave a link at some point in the description. I'll add one to this, and if you guys are interested in following along with that, I'll shoot you the link over there with Fausto. Viscus is saying Whatnot has been good for the Marvel card community as well. You are 100% correct. Whatnot has provided people with a chance to participate in breaks without having to just buy boxes. So for people who are interested in particular characters or whatnot, have a great opportunity to have a great opportunity to buy in without needing to waste their money in a way. So they can take the gamble on if their stuff's going to come up, but they can do it on a smaller level. So Whatnot is a wonderful chance for people to do that. That's a great point. We have Dave here saying, I'd say over 20,000 collectors, but maybe 1,000 to 2,000 that are involved on a day-to-day basis. I love that. I think that I agree with you completely. So I think that there are a ton of people that own Marvel cards. Like 20,000 is probably a very accurate number looking at the groups, at some of the channels, at all of it. And then there's a group of people there's a smaller group, such as in everything, that are really involved, that are a part of it on a day-to-day, and that are a part of the conversation. And what we're talking about here is the community. They're a part of the Marvel card community in a way where they want to be there. They're interested in the personalities that are there. It's a very friendly place. The community of Marvel card collectors, from my experience, has been very friendly. There are always difficult personalities and everything, but there's some really supportive. Like, it's pretty cool that you can be in this hobby and reach out to people you see on YouTube streams, like Sketch Card Hive, Spidey Hits, OCD Sketch Card, and get a chance to like actually communicate with them and hear back from them. When you're in a hobby that's community based, that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to like see something, have questions, reach out and ask, and get responses. We got Snicked in the building. What's going on, buddy? Thanks so much for joining this morning. I know it's early on a Saturday, and I just appreciate everybody being here. I hope you guys are enjoying a coffee. I'm enjoying a coffee. I'm supposed to do a whole bunch of things today, and I've got my whole table laid out with all of my collecting stuff, and I don't even know if I'm going to go to work today. I might just end up sitting in here, hanging out with cards, and I got a ComC package a little while ago. I opened it on Instagram, and a couple of the cards that showed up kind of blew my mind. I kind of forgotten to look over them as detailed as I was hoping to, and I'm going to do that here with you guys in a second. It's so refreshing. You're totally right, Babiscus, that people are willing to communicate with one another here and chat and help each other out. An incredible amount of people reach out on my Instagram. If you want to follow along, follow the channel, but also follow on Instagram at Last Pack Magic. Because people send over cards that they're excited about and leave voicemails about what they're collecting. And it's really fun to get to interact. And a lot of the stuff you guys are collecting reminds me like, oh man, I forgot that was out there. I would really love to be a part of that as well. And it's really fun. I want to show you some of the EPAC stuff that came. And I was saying I don't really participate in EPAC that much. But the EPAC exclusive inserts, like some of them are pretty cool. The achievements, they're pretty neat. Tea and a joint to start my Saturday morning. Man, you're having a better weekend than I am already. I love it. Love that for you guys. Okay, so here we go. This is and the rainbow. I'm going to read it real quick. Rainbow wheel. So I didn't realize when I ordered this card that it has a really nice foiling on it. Like the colors really pop. That's a terrible view because of my lighting. But in hand, this card looks really, really, really good. Really enjoying that they did this for one of the EPAC achievements. This was not a challenging EPAC achievement to get. You do have to do this on EPAC because of the digital base, which drives me up the wall. But if it ends up getting stuff like this, then that works for me. You people in the chat here are agreeing the color wheels look really, really great. They really do. Like they're a gorgeous insert. It adds a nice element to your page in your binder. Yeah, those look good for sure. The color wheels are cool. I love those black VIPs. Like I don't have one for my character, but like that Silver Surfer one, the Wolverine auto one, like whew, those were very good looking cards. I really enjoy the EPAC achievement stuff. So here's an excellent point. So I bought some on ComC rather than trading. I am the exact same way. I do not have the money or the patience or the time or maybe even the attention span to possibly complete that many trades and get that done. But you can go and buy these. Like it blows my mind how people will lose some of their hair over doing all the trading. And then we'll jump on and buy some of them. Some of the EPAC achievements over time that like have really looked great are some of those clear acetate cards as well. Those pop up for very reasonable prices at times. And it's really cool to get to scoop those up. They're awesome things to add to it. I never do EPAC, just singles, but they do have nice exclusives. EPAC is one of those things where you can forget about EPAC for a really, really long time, and then you can jump on there and do a little search, find some stuff. It can be really easy, and it can be really challenging depending on the communication between accounts. So many people open up stuff and just forget about their EPAC account. It just stays locked up there forever, which is kind of heartbreaking. I think we've all been everyone who's been around collecting for a little bit has definitely experienced some e-pack gripe trying to communicate and get deals done. It's which makes it even a little bit more special when people do get the achievements done. We've got Dave saying, I love the color wheel parallels, especially on Platinum, the 2017 Marvel Annual set. I buy them on ComC. You know what? Let's talk about it as well. So there's not only the e-pack achievements, but there also is Pack Wars. So Pack Wars and the leaderboard charts have exclusive cards for the winners of those as well. And there's some really cool ones. There's some really interesting leaderboard cards. I got lucky with a couple. I bought them after the fact too. And when I saw them, I had no idea what they were. I was like, this is really strange. Like, what is this card? And why am I only seeing it now? And I scooped them up. So the most recent Pack Wars cards that I can recall as achievements were from Series 2, Volume 1 Beginnings. There was a purple parallel. I'm pretty sure it was called purple. It's a purple card. It might be called something different. But it was a Pack War achievement, and really cool. Oftentimes they are not numbered, but they will, for people who kind of are in the loop, know that there's only 25 of them or something, and they can be really, really rare. The color wheels are a blast. You're totally right. And I actually forgot about those, but I have them as well. But they are a consistent insert, I guess, with these pack achievement, with these e-pack achievements. And that's totally right. The color wheel was definitely one of those. I have a couple of them and they are nice. I was able to get the Fuel Ultra Midnight Suns Werewolf by Night auto on e-pack. That is awesome. I love that you guys who were doing the physical stuff on Midnight Suns, and Matt, you were one of the ones who were definitely a part of that whole era, that 3-week era, and got some really cool cards out of it. Matt says that he is in search of the purple parallels. So if you have Marvelously Sketched on Instagram, you are lucky because he has a great Instagram. Make sure you're checking out his stuff. We're going to have him on as well at some point in time. And he is in search of the purple parallel. So if anybody out there has that and wants to assist Matt in making a trade or making a deal, reach out to him. Matt, I also am after that purple parallel for the base. And there's that rainbow one. I forget what it is, but it's another e-pack one only. So, and I was so confused when I was looking through it. I didn't know that they were going to have another one. I hope I'm not wrong about that because I was so confused when I saw it. So there's 2 more cards in there I need to add to my binder. I'll be searching for those 2. I'm going to wait until there's a flood of cards on ComC to grab those. I kind of do a once a month ComC order. It seems to be my rhythm is because it takes a month to get here too, right? So, having a little bit of a steady flow. I try to have an order in before another one arrives, and my most recent one arrived a couple of days ago that I opened with you guys, and I'm due to add another one here. We got Snick. He's spending his morning drawing Marvel stuff in my sketchbook, and listening to Marvel card shows. Would be cool for amateur artist collectors in a series. I love that so many of you guys have gotten into, have rekindled your drawing. We all doodled as kids. We all sat there and scribbled on everything, and some of us didn't stop or slowed down and picked up. And me and Snick have been sending drawings back and forth. Me and Spidey hits send drawings back and forth. Donnie Boy McGee has been on a drawing frenzy. Raj over at Clock Cut Collectibles has been doing a lot of drawing, and that's another thing about, like I was saying, about community and following along with the Instagrams and reaching out and stuff. People send me drawings they're doing all the time. That's actually how I got to know Snick. And I love it. I love seeing what you guys are working on, and I love getting to share what I'm working on with you guys. So it's super cool. Marvel is one of those rare communities where we have the artists like Tony Perna and Trey Studios. Ash Gonzalez are always a part of the chats and a part of the videos and stuff. It's really cool to have so many talented people at every level engaging in this. Said, by the way, the website should be able to help with some of the people wanting things. It's a free classified ad system for Marvel cards. Which website are you talking about? Are you talking about the TBD one? I want all the acetate medallions. They look so good. Yeah, they really, really do. The clear acetate medallions are looking really nice. Going for the man thing. The clear acetates look really cool. The Sabretooth acetate card is art from Fleet Ultra Wolverine. I'm interested if any of your guys' characters for the achievement are artwork that appears on other sets. Interested to know. Donnie and Roger are awesome artists. Yeah, they are. But so are you, Snick. Your stuff's really good as well. I feel like when you're sharing your artwork with your friends and everyone's kind of at like a similar level, it pushes you to get better. Everyone's like, in not a malicious way, but in a very healthy way, are trying to one up or to improve on something so that when they show their friends, they notice. It's really fun. I've been really enjoying the drawing. I have some sketch cards that I just did for a product that the great curator Daniel is putting out. So that's Saturday morning cartoon or Saturday morning cards. They just released a Rocketeer set, and I guess it's you purchase a box and it comes with one card that's all slabbed up, and they have base cards and they have all sorts of stuff in it. And then one of the things you can get are sketches. I saw some really cool Ash Gonzalez sketches. I saw a couple other ones. And I was interested in being a part of it. And he had reached out and said, hey, do you want to do a couple of these? And he sent me some sketch cards. And I did them. I sent them in. So they've arrived. And I'll be sharing some of that stuff in the near future. Spidey Hits sent me some of the Spidey Hits sketch stock. And I did a Wolverine for a giveaway. I have to color it still. And William the Rider was the one who won the giveaway. It was on a live Wolverine break that I did on that channel. So that'll be going out soon. I'll probably color that live. I'll do that on the channel. I want to do more sketch card stuff with you guys and share some drawings. So what I think I'll do is I'll do some drawing and some inking, and then in my own time, and then I'll color them on camera and kind of do some giveaways and share some stuff with you guys. Really enjoy drawing. I don't do sketch cards as, say, like professionally or in a serious way. I do them really just for fun. But I do like sharing them with you guys. Some people reach out and they're like, oh, I'd like that card. And I make sure if that's something that you guys want to make a deal on, that we can do that. This is really fun, guys. We got lots of you in the chat. I'm going to just top up my coffee with the old French press here. Getting the weekend started. I know that so many people have really busy weekends. You guys have kids. You guys have all sorts of events going on. And sometimes the mornings are that secret little private time that some of us have to get up early and to do some stuff just for us before the day gets too crazy, before the day gets wild and there's lots going on. So really glad that we got to do this and have a chat. A lot of my weekends are spent with music too. Like when I have a weekend day where I'm going to do collecting, I'll make a video live with you. I'll do one where I'm doing a hangout day collecting, but I got the music on in the background. I've got the whole dining room table completely covered in stuff. Maybe not to the degree that Michael Salter does, where he's got the huge concrete table, his little card table. But I like to get set up, and I have, I'll do a little opening. I'll do some organizing. I've been finding myself frequently flipping through my PC binders. Flipping through PC binders, every time I go through the book, I end up reorganizing something or getting an idea or noticing something that's missing. So I find the more I interact with my collection, the more I realize the end goal, or I get closer to the end goal of how I want to curate it. And I wonder if that's the same for you guys. Let me know in the chat. Like, do you guys go through your binders? Do you guys go through your slabs? Do you pick over your cards on say once a week? Is that what makes us the 1,000 people in the Marvel card hobby? Is we're the ones that are constantly shuffling through our stuff? I'm really interested to know. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, for people who jumped on afterwards, we were going over this book, Uncanny X-Men 222. Just a really cool book where we were talking about claw cut covers. Speaking of inserts, one of the favorite inserts from this, really, really cool. This was the one of that actual book. I got more of these coming. There are 3 Sabretooth ones that I found. They're super cool. For you guys collecting Wolverine, I'm interested in Fleet Ultra Wolverine set, because there's so many Wolverine cards, and I would say that without doubt 90% of the sketch cards I've seen get pulled were of Wolverine. It's funny that all of a sudden it's not that rare to pull a Wolverine sketch or to pull a Wolverine card. It's interesting. And so for you, those of you who are collecting Wolverine, Has this been great? Has this been weird? I'm wondering. We got Mr. Jayhawk fan in the chat saying, I totally do the same, making sure I can find cards that I am looking for. You know, picking over cards is so much fun. Sorry, I just had to do a little cough there. It's so much fun going over everything. I'm glad that there's other people in the chat here who are doing it too. Like I call it a hobby day. You know, like when my wife occupied doing either working or doing something with her friends, I take the opportunity to be productive with my collection. I get the OCD and clean my display case and reorganizing it, especially when new packages come in. When I get some new packages, I try and go over that display stand, get all the dust off. If you have a display stand, I'm sure you know all about the nonstop dust battle. But reorganizing it is super fun, and it's cool finding different ways to display your collections. Like, especially if you open boxes and you keep the boxes, it's a great chance to kind of find a spot to put them. So Snick says it's awesome to see so many Wolvie sketches. There have been a ton of incredible sketches pulled lately. The Wolverine card stock, the sketch card stock is a really cool one. That slash in it is a great little thing to incorporate in some of these sketches. I've seen some really cool ones as well. I've noticed a bit of a shift in sketches where there for a while there was really comic book looking sketches going on. What I mean by that, they were penciled, they were penned, and then they were colored, and they looked really, really good. I love them. And recently I've been noticing a little bit of a shift where people are doing more fine art looking painted sketch cards. I think a lot of people that I see are using watercolor, and I could be wrong about that. It could be watered down acrylic, but I'm seeing a lot of work that like almost looks like portraiture. And I think it's really cool to have both. I'm so down with the comic art, but I have been noticing this shift where, especially with platinum, the platinum sketch cards, I noticed a lot of the cards were done in a very fine art, very tactful way. A lot of art education was applied to it, you can tell. And it's really, really cool to see. Like some of the sketch cards, that the quality of sketch card has improved a lot over the years. And that's not a shot at any of the other ones, the early ones. Like that's not a shot at them at all. I think pulling any original art is cool. There are definitely cards that people find more collectible and appreciate the artwork more. But some of the ones that have been coming out lately, really, really exceptional work. I've been scooping up sketch cards because I feel like sketch cards are going away. I feel like this here we go. Duke Comic Art does amazing sketch cards like that. Very cool. Who's your in the chat? Like, drop a name who you guys like as a sketch card artist. I'm interested to know who like you guys are after. I've been Viscratos has been like my guy lately. I mean, his work is a blend between the two of the conversation I just had about the comic book art and the fine art. His is like a mesh between the two. And like the Scratos, I did here's a podcast guest on the season 2 of the LPM podcast. This guy can draw, man. This guy is really, really good. I got a card from him. I show it in the podcast, and really exceptional stuff. But like I was saying before, I've been collecting sketch cards because I have a feeling that they're going away. Like with licensing changes and with Fanatics taking over, I don't anticipate sketch cards being nearly as common as they were before. And so I've been making a bit more of a concerted effort to grab up sketches. I kind of have this range that I like to, it's a price point and a quality point that I like to choose for my PC in sketch cards. And I've been picking them up a little bit more frequently than normal because they're just, I have a lone Pelican case for sketches. And I actually don't even know the count number that I have. We got Marvelously Sketch saying sketch cards are my personal favorite insert. I have too many favorite artists. What a good comment. You're totally right. You know, it's funny trying to pick one. I feel like for me, my when I'm fixated on somebody's work, it kind of changes every month. So there are times I've been really interested in Ash Gonzalez sketches. I think I don't own any of them, unfortunately, but I do really like Ash's work. I think Ash has a really great style. Really cool guy too. Really fun to interact with. Dre Studios does awesome stuff. Really like his. Tony Perna, amazing stuff. You guys, I want to thank everybody for being a part of the chat today. We're going to wrap it up here with another episode of trading cards in the morning here, Marvel mornings. I'm going to try to do these as often as possible. Just starting the day. I like starting the day this way. I hope you guys like starting the day with a little hobby talk. Start out our Saturday. I hope your weekend goes great. I hope you guys do some fun stuff on the weekend, whether it be with family, whether it be with collecting, or just hanging out watching TV, man. Do whatever you want to do. It's your weekend. I'm sure you worked hard all week and enjoy it. Keep collecting fun. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, what you want to see, what you want to talk about on the next one. We will do more of these mornings. Okay, everybody, take care. Chat soon. Follow along. Hey, subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. If you're enjoying the channel, please, please, please jump in for more.